Hey, you're listening to the Good Pod Guide with me, Lauren Windle. I'm going to give you the lowdown on some of the biggest podcasts, as well as some hidden gems, to help you find your next great listen. There are a lot of podcasts about the same thing. I was chatting to some of the Good Pod Guide team, and we were saying that if we keep going with this research and reviews and listening, we're just going to end up being massive experts on Charles Manson and Ted Bundy because there's so much true crime out there. So with that in mind, I am trying to bring you some things which are a little bit different. And this isn't just entertainment today. It's also got a practical function, which I think is quite cool. So in the name of mixing things up, I am going to introduce you to Get Sleepy, sleep meditation and stories. So here's the deal. It's this bloke speaking in a soothing voice, talking you through a breathing exercise. And then he or someone else will tell a story. And it's not a thrilling story. It's a soothing, gentle tale. So I decided the only way to really put this to the test was to put it on as I was falling asleep and see what happened. They suggest that you listen to the story and that it will be just enough to hold your attention so you won't be thinking about the stresses of the day, but it also won't distract you away from being able to fall asleep. So at first, of course, I really got in my head about it. And they say at the beginning, listen to the story, don't freak out if it finishes and you're still awake. There'll be this sort of gentle plinky plonky music so you can retell yourself the story and stay in that sleepy meditative state, and then you'll drift off to sleep. Okay, so they had specified that. But of course, I was like, I'm going to be awake at the end of this and I'm going to freak out. And then I'm going to hate myself lying here wondering why I can't fall asleep during the plinky plonky story. And it is just going to be horrific. So the end of the story felt like it was coming like a ticking time bomb for me. And I was waiting for it to drop. And I'd be like, oh, do I put on another one? Or do I listen to the music and retell the story? Or when's the music going to finish? And I just really got in my head about it, as you can tell. And that is surprising for me because I'm a total sleeper. I can literally fall asleep anywhere. Train, airport, sofa, a small space in the corner of a room. And I think that that is the gift of being short because I am 5'2" 3/4. And I don't know anyone who's tall who can do that. So I think that where we miss out on being able to see the stage at concerts, we gain through being able to fall asleep wherever we like. So that's a real win for short people. At first, the change in the routine of listening to this podcast did mess with my head a bit. And they do say that you'll find it easier the more you do it. So I want to tell you what the story was about, but I definitely only dipped in and out of hearing it. So I know there was a bit about a beach and some water crashing on some rocks. And I know there was a bit about some lace that was really intricate. And I think there was a boat at some point, but I can't really be sure. I did also listen to, on another night, the Alice in Wonderland one, which was really cool, I think. But again, I wasn't really fully listening to it. It's not like the full Alice in Wonderland story. It's like an abridged, muted version. I know that at one point Alice was walking by a tree and it was all very relaxing. But as you may have gathered, I fell asleep before the end. So I think we can say that for me, at least, this podcast worked. It served its purpose. I recommend this as a great way to wind down, particularly if you're a person who struggles to transition from the hectic day to the chill sleep time. I listened to it again last night and I'm going to listen to it again tonight. So I feel like that kind of says it all. In the next episode, I managed to shoehorn the fact that I've written a book into the podcast once again, as I explain the similarities between myself and Dolly Alderton. We've put all you need to know about the show on our website, www.goodpodguide.com, so go check that out. You can also follow us at Good Pod Guide on Instagram and Twitter.